Well, howdy adventurers, and welcome to Old Man on a Bike, and we're going to have a quick go at rear brake pads. Should be fairly easy, straightforward, so get straight to it. And with our Torx 30, take off the rear splash guard, mud guard. And the only reason to take this off is so that we can get in and undo that bolt there. So what I am going to try and do is see if we can just take these two out and leave the bottom one in, although there's no reason not to take it out, and just let it swing down. Okay, that one. And will it swing down? Yes, look at that. That's fine. We can leave that like that. They were Torx 30. Swap over to Torx 40 for the caliper bolts. And I can't really see clearly if there's meat on them, on the pads, but I'm not entirely sure how much, so I might end up putting these ones back. I've got a new set to compare them with. Bit stiff because you do put Loctite on all of these when putting them back. When we come to put these back, I think these are 28 Newton meters. So we unclip the, I think that's the wire for the ABS. See, let's take those out of the way. And just give it a little wiggle. I don't want to push the pistons in completely because I want to give the caliper a bit of a clean. Oh, that's coming off fairly easy. Stuck on a spoke. Yeah, that's interesting. Just have to squeeze them in a bit more, just to give us a little bit wiggle room, because the spokes actually restrict you from taking the caliper off. Right, let's see if we can have a look. And there we go. And whilst they are worn, if you compare them with, let's try and show you the new ones side by side. And you can see the wear indicators on them. So they're nowhere near really. So I'm going to put those back. But before we do that, we're going to give the caliper a bit of a clean. So we'll take those little clips out there. Let's just back a little bit. And that clip there. And we should be able to take the pin out pushes to the back of the caliper. Let's apply a little pressure on the pads, and there is a pin. And I was just applying a little bit of upward pressure on that spring there to help release the pin, and out come the pads. So it's a bit grubby in there, not too bad, but we'll go ahead and give that a little clean up. So there we are, suitably cleaned up, and looking quite nice. And I have given it a little spray of silicone spray just inside there, nothing too heavy so that too much dirt can stick to it. Should be fine. Obviously, spraying anything like silicone spray, make sure you got your disc covered up. Do not get anything like silicone spray on your disc or your brake pads. And noticing on cleaning up, there's one with this sort of silver clip on and one without, and I thought, which way do they go round? It's pretty obvious that that one without this silver clip on the back, this one you can clearly see the rings from the piston on there, so it's obviously they're going to go on back in like that. Little bit of copper slip on the backs of the pads. I've always done it for about 40 years now, and I ain't gonna stop. I don't care what people say, good, bad, indifferent, but I think it does help the pads move about. Let's put a little bit in there as well. It's where the pin slides, and we should be good to go. So let's zoom out just a fraction so we can see these drop into a little keyway just down the bottom here. Sits in there quite nicely, as you can see, and the other one in, lovely. Let's put the pin back in. Went in nicely, and rotate it so we can see the holes, and put our little clips back in like that, and another one in there like that. Pretty simple. So I say I haven't pushed those pistons in at all, so it might be a little bit awkward to get back on the disc. We'll give it a try. We might have to squeeze them in a bit. Getting my dirty hands on the caliper now. Maybe start at one end and work your way down like that. A little bit of Loctite. On these. very easy to do. So I was lucky I didn't have to change those. There's plenty of life left in those pads yet. Okay, get the torque wrench on there, set it to 28 Newton meters. We're on there, that's about there. Go. Felt. Pretty good. A little bit of Loctite on this one. Change that over to T30. A little bit of Loctite on that one. And because we've loosened that bottom one and cracked the Loctite, I'm going to take it out and put some more Loctite back on. Now these bolts are only 8 Newton meters. I have to get myself a new torque wrench because my great big monster thing that I used to work on trucks with only goes down to 20 Newton meters, which isn't a lot of good on a BMW GS, because there's quite a lot of things under 20 Newton meters. So for now I'm going to guess 8 Newton meters, very gently holding a ratchet there, not down here, so there's only a little bit of leverage with the Loctite. Hey, report me, I don't care. But there we have it. Replacement, or in this case just a visual of my brake pads, because there was enough on there. But an easy job. 3 bolts doing up 8 Newton meters. 2 bolts doing up 28 Newton meters. Take the 2 little pins out there and yeah, just change the pads over. Easy. Right, don't forget to like, subscribe and ring the bell for notification of new videos, and thank you for watching. Catch you later.